Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s with this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes, 1987 at online booksellers everywhere. There was a mass shooting that took place after the graduation for Huguenot High School that was being hosted on the campus of Virginia Commonwealth University. All news clips in this video are used under fair use of United States copyright law of 1976 and are used in conjunction with my commentary.
A 19-year-old man accused of opening fire in a deadly mass shooting in Virginia appeared in court today. He now faces murder charges. The shooting happened outside of a high school graduation in Richmond, killing 2 people. ABC's Justin Finch has the latest now from Washington.
What should have been cheers for the graduating class of Huguenot High School instead turning to screams as gunfire sent terrified students and their families scrambling for cover. Police arriving within 45 seconds to a theater near Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond where the graduation was held. Authorities later confirming 2 people were gunned down, 18-year-old student Sean Jackson and his stepfather Renzo Smith, both shot and killed. Sean's mother telling ABC News her family was there to celebrate his graduation. Sean's 9-year-old sister, also a victim, recovering in a wheelchair after being hit by a car while fleeing the area. One witness describing how the joy of those gathered quickly turned to grief.
I walked past this guy and he ran, and the next thing I know, he was shot. It was total chaos.
Sending multiple units to the area. All traffic stand by.
Authorities say 5 others suffered gunshot wounds. Officials say a 19-year-old suspect is in custody, facing 2 second-degree murder charges with possibly more to follow.
We believe there must be accountability for this violence.
Police say multiple handguns were found at the scene and believe the shooting was targeted.
I'm tired of seeing people get shot.
And the Richmond School District is canceling all graduation ceremonies until further notice. The Gun Violence Archive says so far this year, there have been 279 mass shootings. In Washington, Justin Finch, Channel 6 Action News.
Now, in this incident that took place on the campus of Virginia Commonwealth University after the graduation for Huguenot High School, 19-year-old Amari Pollard decided to take out one of 4 firearms that he possessed and decided to confront 18-year-old Sean Jackson, one of the graduates at the ceremony. And as he was confronting 18-year-old Sean Jackson, who was a graduate at this ceremony, he then began allegedly spraying bullets, which took the life of 18-year-old Sean Jackson, his 36-year-old stepfather, Renzo Smith, and wound up leading to the wounding of 5 other people, one of which is still in critical condition, and also led to a 9-year-old girl winding up being hit by a car. Now, the police are seeing Amari Pollard's actions as an isolated incident. However, when I take a critical examination of Amari Pollard's alleged behavior, it fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And Amari Pollard's behavior fits the pattern and profile for beta males who have been raised by single mothers, men who go out here and act impulsively on their emotions without ever thinking critically about their consequences of their actions or the impact of their actions on other people. Because the alleged motive that Amari Pollard had for participating in this mass shooting was because he allegedly had an ongoing beef with 18-year-old Sean Jackson, and he felt like what he wanted to do in order to end that beef was take away Sean Jackson's promising life at the end of his graduation. So as I see it, it looks like to me that Amari Pollard possibly planned to get his revenge by going out here to take away Sean Jackson's life on the greatest day of his life, which was his high school graduation, and tried to say that he had power over Sean Jackson as he was looking to end the beef in the most melodramatic fashion. So that's what I believe Amari Pollard's motive for murder was as related to this mass shooting. He was in his feelings about Sean Jackson having promise and success, and he wanted to take away his success. His behavior is what we call in the black community crabs in a barrel behavior, because as it relates to many black people who are raised by single mothers, they get a mindset where if they see another black person having success, what they want to do is tear that black person down so that they will never be able to achieve or accomplish any success, and they can go out here and say that they have power over that person. And that's basically what I believe Amari Pollard was doing, because he says he was attending the graduation as a guest, but I believe he attended that graduation with malice aforethought, thinking about a way to murder Sean Jackson, and he wanted to murder him and his stepfather because they were representing images of black manhood and black masculinity that were showing that there was a road to success that he possibly could not go out here and accomplish, because Renzo Smith was a member of our U.S. military, and as a member of our U.S. military, he taught his stepson discipline, and as he taught his stepson discipline and resolve, this is what led to Sean Jackson being on the road to success, and this possibly was the reason why Amari Pollard was looking to go out here and go after him in this beef, because he was basically jealous of Sean Jackson having a male influence that was positive, having a male father figure in his life, and seeing the impact of this boy learning how to become a man, and learning how to become a man with the discipline and resolve to persevere in the face of adversity. And he was upset and jealous because he saw this boy going out here and about to receive the fruits of his labor, see the results of his hard work. And because he was jealous of this young black man going out here and achieving success, what he wanted to do was cut that black man's life down before it could get started. And again, this is the kind of behavior that beta black males learn when they're growing up in single mother households, because their mothers are teaching them to be these effeminate males. And these effeminate males, again, they have the emotions of a woman, but they have the physical strength of a man. And this is what makes these kinds of beta males extremely dangerous to anyone attending an event like a high school graduation, because I believe that this Amari Pollard was seething for an extended period of time as related to Sean Jackson going out here and getting ready to get his high school diploma. I believe he was seething for an extended period of time, hearing about this young brother about to go out here and get this success that was shaped and molded by this stepfather. And I believe he was out here, again, jealous like a female, and jealous like a female, he wanted to go out here and create a melodramatic incident at this graduation in an effort to get attention for himself. And what he wanted to do was go out here and get attention for himself in an infamous fashion by taking away everybody's joy at that graduation. He basically wanted to go out here and take away everybody's joy at one of the greatest moments in a teenager's life. He wanted to take away everybody's ability to celebrate because he wanted to be the god over men, but in actuality, he just showed how much of a man in crisis he was, and he showed how dangerous beta males can be, because what happens with beta males is, again, many of these men they get jealous of the success of other men, and they don't want to put the work in that other men do, and they don't want to go to other men because their single mom has demonized men in their eyes. And since their mom demonizes men in their eyes, what happens is they don't wind up out here getting the support that they need from another man that they'll need to go out here and survive in the world. And this is what happened to Amari Pollard. I believe he went out here, got in his feelings. He saw this young brother, Sean Jackson, doing well in school, doing well in life, and got in his feelings seeing this young man going out here on the road to his success. And what he did was, as he saw this young man on the road to success, wanted to cut his success down, and he wanted to ruin a ceremony for all of those people. All of those people were out here celebrating their ability to go out here and graduate, and what this effeminate beta male bitch did was go out here and decide he was going to go out here and throw his little tantrum, and I believe looking to take the life of Sean Jackson and his father, all because he had issues with him being on the road to being a man, and because he was upset about seeing an example of black manhood and black masculinity. What he wanted to do was take the lives of those black men. Now, this incident really resonates with me because I had my own struggles in high school with crab in a bucket type individuals like this, and it was crab in a bucket individuals like this that almost led to me not getting my high school diploma because I was so terrified of these individuals. And these individuals basically made it where I didn't even want to go to school anymore, and basically was one of the reasons why I actually had to spend a 5th year in high school trying to get a high school diploma, because these high schools, again, you have these beta males from these single mother households, and these guys make life miserable for everybody at that school who is trying to go out here and achieve something, because these individuals don't have the confidence in themselves to go out here and persevere in the face of adversity. No, they buy into stereotypes and concepts by white supremacy, telling them that they need to be a thug or a gangster. They need to be about these streets. You need to have you a girl. They focus on foolishness that is about social currency instead of working on things that will allow them to lay a foundation for their future success. And these people get in the way of kids in high school and impede their way from trying to make progress, because these individuals, again, they have sometimes literacy issues and low self-esteem, and because they are hurting, what they want to do is hurt others. And that's basically what this Amari Pollard was looking to do as related to this quote-unquote ongoing dispute. But that ongoing dispute, as I see it, was nothing more than black male jealousy, and black male jealousy is learned by beta males who are raised in single mother households. Black males who are in single mother households learn to be jealous of other black males, unlike Sean Jackson, who was raised by Renzo Smith, to learn a completely different model of manhood that I learned from my own father and brother, which was, if you are out here and you see other people getting success, what you have to do is buckle down and keep pushing until you get the success that you want. It may not come in the prescribed time, but you've got to go out here and persevere, and you've got to buckle down and persevere in the face of adversity. You've got to go out here and put in that work, and because the only person who's going to get you results is you. And this is something I learned as far back as about 11 years old, because I wanted a plaque back then from that time to show that how academically smart I was. And I didn't get it when I was 11 years old. I didn't get it when I was 13. Didn't get it when I was 17. But I did get it when I graduated from college in 1994. And again, even though I took losses in my academic years in junior high school and high school, I still kept pushing towards that goal. And again, this is what men teach other men how to do, just with their presence. And again, this is what many beta males don't get. And because they don't get this logic, what they do is get in their emotions. And as they get in their emotions, they become jealous of other black men, other black men who could possibly help them. And instead of trying to get help from those black men, what they do is again make plans to hurt them with malice aforethought. And that's what this whole mass shooting was about. It was all about going out here and hurting Sean Jackson's chances at success. It was all about him looking to make the spotlight on him to get attention for himself. It was all about Amari Pollard and his little bitch-made feelings about how upset he was at this young black man. And again, this is the type of behavior that takes a man from becoming a man who has intangibles like his health, safety, and his freedom to being a man who's going to be in crisis as he has to deal with male authority figures inside of the penitentiary, because that's where Amari Pollard is possibly gonna go if he is convicted for the murders of Sean Jackson and his stepfather, Renzo Smith. He is going to be going from being on the streets, being a Pookie, to being a pincushion for Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Melvin, Big Dave, and Mr. Sprinkles as they turn that tight end of this thug into a wide receiver. And as they turn that tight end into a wide receiver, what they're going to do is be spit roasting this little wannabe thug and trading his backside and his front side as they spit roast him for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light, packets of Taster's Choice coffee, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand lemon cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, marshmallow peeps, peppermint balls. I mean, when they get through turning this little punk out inside of the penitentiary, he is going to rue the day that he went out here and took the life of this 18-year-old young man at his high school graduation. He's going to rue that day because he will not have to be on these streets with his mama. No, he will be in this penitentiary having to deal with actual male authority figures like that CO, and that CO ain't gonna let him get away with the nonsense that he got away with in that single mother household, having this beef with another black man. No, in that penitentiary, that CO is gonna set order, telling him when to get up, when to eat, when to exercise. And as he's telling him what to do inside of that penitentiary, he is also going to have to deal with the unwritten social rules of Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles. And they are going to set order on him in that chaotic environment. And as he gets into that environment thinking, oh, I got even in my feelings with this guy, he's going to regret that getting into his feelings as they turn his front side and his back side out, because that's the type of thing that happens to these beta males when they don't go out here and think critically about more important intangibles of manhood, such as your dignity, such as your self-respect, such as your health, such as your safety, such as your freedom. These things are more important than your feelings about another man. This was a lesson I learned way back in 1990 when I was at Park West High School, and these guys were coming after me, all because they were mad at the fact that I didn't have a girlfriend, and they escalated things to the point where they were putting hands on me. This is a lesson I learned that, sometimes your freedom is worth more than trying to get through a day. And sometimes your freedom is the most important thing that you have, because as a black man, your freedom is the most important thing that you have. It is the greatest intangible that you own. But sadly, we have a lot of these beta black males who are so caught up in their feelings about whatever little beef that they have, they can't think critically about more important things like keeping their freedom. No, they got to go out here and sate those feelings of jealousy that they have like a female. And as they try to sate those feelings that they have like a female, what they do is go out here and get into it with other guys who they see are moving their lives forward, get into it with other brothers who are out here getting their stuff together, get into it with brothers who are out here trying to take care of their own business. That is what beta males do. And again, these beta males participate in this behavior due to the dysfunctional way they are raised in these single mother households. Because when these males are raised in these single mother households, what they do is, again, learn how to feel and not think. They learn to submit to female authority figures, and more, even worse, they learn to model their behavior to act just as emotional as any of these females out here. And as they're acting emotional like a female, they're not seeing how the single mom is just going to leave him right where he is. And this dude, again, threw away his entire life on the first day of a graduate's life. And again, because he didn't really think critically, he threw away his freedom on the day that Sean Jackson was graduating. And as Sean Jackson got his diploma on the last day of his life, this fool threw away his freedom and made it the last day of his freedom. And again, this is the type of impulsive behavior that beta males participate in, because beta males don't understand how to function as men. And because they don't know how to function as men, they make every situation they're involved in a crisis. And again, most of America doesn't want to acknowledge the man crisis going on in this country, because to acknowledge the man crisis in this country means holding the mothers of these children accountable for their behavior. And in our gynocentric society, we don't want to hold mothers accountable for their irresponsible, reckless, and egregious way they have raised boys to become men. We don't want to admit that the feminist approach of saying a woman can raise a boy to become a man on her own is a failure, because Americans have this pride, and because Americans don't want to swallow their pride. This is why we have 100 million beta males running amok for 2 to 3 generations, and these men are becoming landmines all across this country after the lockdowns, and these landmines are exploding in rage, turning celebrations into soft targets, because these soft males can't deal with their feelings. And because these soft males can't deal with their feelings, they put everybody's freedom in jeopardy and their safety in jeopardy. And again, I think about this event, and again, it shows me the difference between a man and a man in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about what leads many beta males to become men in crisis, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis on other online booksellers like Smashworth, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And this book will explain to you why these kind of males are dangerous and what motivates them to become this violent and dangerous. And it's a book that will help even some of these guys out here transform their lives so that they will go off the road of being men in crisis to becoming men of character. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can send a donation to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now available for the first time on Google Play, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are falling apart in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy on Google Play today.